skyrocket. Sometimes in a series where teams are really dependent upon their support playing those engaged champs, you will see like first pick Leona and things like that in a series that has gone this way, because that is the last of kind of like the 5 major engaged supports that are those primo ones. Yep. But there is obviously other options. There's things like Renata, there's things like Neeko, there's, you know, other styles of enchanters that you can play. And there is the Neeko, which could be going mid, also could be going down in support. And we'll have to kind of wait and see.
I mean, there's also the rare situation where he goes top lane.
True.
Now, the response from BLG looks like that they want to get themselves jungle control early. I liked the Sejuani ban that came through GAM, knowing that we're kind of getting more limited in engaged supports. Removing one of Beichuan's best engaged junglers, I think, makes a ton of sense. Totally. But he's just said, you know what, I'm going to play the Zit. And a champion that is just very good at going forward, and it's very easy for teams to follow up on that type of engage. And with the Caitlyn paired up alongside it, I mean, BLG going for a bit more lane dominance this time around.
Yeah, absolutely. Caitlyn, very interesting here. You know, sometimes people do pair it with CC to try to, you know, follow up with the traps. So other times, people are going to go more just heavy for poke. Kate Lux, obviously a famous lane. Back in the day, it was even like Kate Syra and things like that. MF being considered on the other side and will, in fact, get locked in here. So MF going to be the answer. It could easily be MF Neeko, which is definitely a strong 2v2. You know, you can set up for that Neeko with your E. You know, you throw down the E on the MF, you get that slow, that sets up for the Tangle Barbs coming through. You know, you can land that root pretty easily, and it's very annoying 2v2 to play against.
Ooh, the Skarner hover coming through for Levi. A pretty solid engaged jungler, something that dominated the meta for quite a while. But Jarvan, a lot more cut and dry. EQ, engage. Really good at just kind of locking down once those mobility options have come through. I personally don't love it into Caitlyn. I'm reminded it was the LTA finals where we actually saw this matchup, no? And I think that it's a situation where just because of the net, as long as you're quite reserved as the Caitlyn, you're already going to be playing at range. I think that engage is quite difficult. And you talked about the potential Lux. Yep. Karma is another one that fits the bill to just give you so much lane dominance in the bot lane 2 versus 2. A huge amount of range, a lot of poke, and a lot of control around these neutral objectives. I mean, how many times have we seen the 5 Caitlyn traps you're trying to approach? Then you've also got Karma just throwing mantra Qs at you. It's very difficult if you're second to the objective.
It really is quite difficult, and also, you know, the amount of shielding that can come out from a mantra shield when you're looking at the AoE damage over on the other side of bullet time as well as the pop blossom. If you can avoid that engage yourself as on and then have the mantra shields come out, sometimes that buys the time your team needs to survive the initial engage. And then, you know, let's be honest, Neeko after the ult is used is not that useful in a team fight. So we'll see if they can actually lock this down as more bans are coming through. Both teams targeting the mid laners for now. So we got some cosplayers hanging out in the crowd. The Orianna and Ryze going to be getting banned out.
I'm curious as to what direction we go in. Trying to limit this mid lane pool. You talked about how Ares Ryze was something that we've known him play throughout spring, but it's actually GAM that's going to be taking that one away. Thinking about what champions could be good paired up alongside Jarvan, because he is that kind of facilitator, you want something that can provide you with that damage. With things like the Talia gone, potentially they're thinking about something a little bit more aggressive. Maybe even something like a Sylas could be a possibility. Maybe even the Hui if they want to go more towards that mage route. With the Akali being banned away, BLG also concerned about that potential assassin that is very good at taking down champions like Caitlyn and can skirmish quite well against things like the Xin.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Akali being targeted as well. So now a lot of the most played champions here for Ares are all gone. In fact, the top 5 and 6 out of the top 7 that he actually has played are all banned away because Ryze is banned out. Ahri was already played. Akali just got banned. Corki we saw played earlier. Tristana was played earlier. The Talia was played earlier. So he has a number of different champions that he has played one time throughout the split, but it's obviously a lot more difficult now to predict, you know, exactly where he's going to go.
I will say, I'm surprised to see an Aurora blind pick, only in the sense that I think that she's a champion that can be quite easily outranged, and the Azia hover, I think, was exactly what I was thinking about, whereas in lane, she is such an effective bully. She can offer a huge amount of teamfight value and potential burst, but if you just choose to blind pick it, there are a lot of matchups that can potentially bully it.
Yorick blind to me is like a cardinal sin of League of Legends. Like I love this champion. I play it a lot, but there are so many matchups that are so unplayable. Even if you don't want to get spicy, like Aurelia is always to me the worst possible matchup you can play in, but people don't generally want to play it in competitive. But even if you just want to play something standard, Cho'Gath ultimate one-shots the Maiden at level 6 and gives you a fee stack. It basically means you can't use your ultimate as Yorick if you don't just want to give over free fee stacks for a lot of levels. You can kind of sustain off the ghouls. It's very, very difficult. Yeah. Ben may not want to go towards it, but I mean, I know he has played a decent amount of Yorick, so it's interesting to see like where he takes us, because he should know some of these counter matchups.
It's unrealistic, but I have to give a shout out to my good friend and colleague Gultborg, who dies by the Shyvana matchup in this because of how your Q interacts with the ghouls and how you can just reset a bunch. Yeah, but it also like resets the Q and stuff. But it's in any case, it looks like we're heading towards Renekton for Ben, one of his tried and true staples throughout his many years competing in pro play. I mean, it is relatively safe on the top side of the map, but it seems that GAM have gone for a little bit more reserved in the mid lane matchup, going for that scaling control mage in the form of the Viktor.
I mean, every time you talk about spicy counter picks in top lane, top laners are just like, best I can do is Renekton.
Yeah. You are not wrong.
But it is interesting. You know, Renekton obviously still not bad in this matchup whatsoever. You know, mainly you don't want to have a champion that's just going to get locked in the cage. That's the biggest thing you want to avoid, and obviously you can slice and dice out of that. You're not going to be too bad. But that being said, it's a matchup I don't mind on the Yorick side either. You can definitely poke him down and try to take priority in the side lanes, and that is really just so important for Yorick. And I also feel like when you have Yorick in the game, even more important to be able to secure the grubs.
Would you agree that at a certain point it feels like Yorick does just kind of win on the sides?
I think you will if you're ahead, but if you fall behind, you're kind of like never going to win. Exactly. Non-subscribers, we will see you in 30 seconds. But yeah, absolutely, Yorick definitely scales well. Has gotten a couple nerfs though in a row. He's been nerfed I think 3 patches now in a row, or at least 3 of the last couple patches, including a base armor nerf this most recent patch, Q damage nerf the patch before. They reworked kind of how some of the ghouls work, so they were kind of like weaker earlier, but if you go the attack speed build like Triforce, then they kind of scale a little bit better. So they have made a number of changes, but it's just interesting because Yorick is very game warping, I feel, for both teams. It's not just about playing around him, but about how you play against him, because sometimes ganks can be so effective literally just to kill the Maiden. Like if your jungler comes top and you just kill the Maiden, well, now all of a sudden you have no pressure for over 2 minutes in the side lane.
Very much agree. Let's see how things pan out in the early game. Ooh, Knight.
Knight is going to get found out, and he is going to get rooted up. We'll see if they can force the flash. He's just going to use the W, levels that up, and now BLG have the extra member. Elio going to have to pop the heal and get them back, but minions have spawned. Both mid laners will have to base very late. Neither of them going to be interrupted again. And nice sidesteps there from the GAM bot lane, but they will eat some of this poke, and they're going to get chased out. This is going to get really rough now for them potentially, as a headshot is even ready.
BLG is looking to split the map once again, and I think it's going to work.
Oh no.
Artemis,
oh, no.
Wait a minute.
I think that was a bit of a misclick there, as he stopped auto attack that. Now he is low. He is still staying around because they don't want to actually give this over.
Test this. I think this is a huge time waster. There's no way you're going to be able to fight for this. He's not going to start on the top side of it. Now he'll start off on his wolves, but Beichuan going to get a nice advantage. The bot lane going to be late to lane as well. Elk and On going to be able to do a bit of chip damage.
I mean, Artemis is screwed. Like, look at his health, and he already used his potion, right? You're showing up to lane, having missed all 3 of the melee minions of experience, and look on the other side, Elk got all of that experience. So you're now 3 minions of experience behind. You're down 200, 300 health almost, or whatever, and you have no potion. So if On is on point with his Qs, if he hits those, it is going to be so tough now, I think, for this GAM bot lane, and they're going to try to go back and push Beichuan off, but we saw how this worked last time.
Yes, we did. I mean, I feel like there needs to be some recollection of what happened in Game 2. GAM did not prepare for the potential split map. They got punished by the Caitlyn Karma.
They're still level 1. Like, what can you do here?
And the wave is in such an awkward spot as well. Elk managing it perfectly to deny as much farm as possible.
I just don't really get why they're trying to actually contest here, because they're missing experience on the other side. Now you can just get dove, as Ben is just going to look for the solo kill here on Kiaya on the top lane. And meanwhile, GAM's bot lane, it's a level 3 and a level 3 against 2 level 1s here. GAM is in so much trouble. Beichuan chasing after him, grabs first blood as On walks it out. Now they're looking for the redive here. In goes Beichuan. Elk tanks it up. It's a 2-for-0 on the bot side. 3 minutes in. 0 CS for Artemis. 0 CS, level 1, got about 1 minion of experience. He's cooked.
Disastrous for GAM. This is a worst case scenario for any bot lane player. as with 0 farm, 0 experience, all of that gold disappearing to the tower.
I just don't understand why they contested the jungle so hard. Like, you could just play the wave, get level 2, and then probably defend the dive, but...
Yeah, I mean, the very least attempts to try and thin out the wave as much as possible to make the dive harder. Maybe if you can get the level 2. Exactly. But Levi, I mean, he's able to clear out the full top side. He's gotten level 4, but now it becomes a question of salvation. I mean, you highlighted it right. The interesting thing as well was because On was working so much with Beichuan, you highlighted the double level 3. Elk is able to set up all these traps. He also has both the E and the Q. On manages the tower aggro, and he does it so that Beichuan doesn't end up getting the aggro even after getting the kill. Elk then connects the EQ combo, secures the additional kill as well, and they get the plate to boot.
I mean, it's just perfect. Even On, if you notice, stepped a slight bit forward to get in range of the heal on Beichuan before stepping out of that tower range, not having to even use his flash. Like, this is all perfectly calculated. You can see they have done it a million times before, and they know exactly how to play those limits. And now, Levi, you basically have no choice. You have to go bot and see if you can get a kill there, but you haven't even forced a flash on the other side. So On and Elk are going to be difficult to take down.
Beichuan, look as well. He's back on the second spawn of the Raptors. He's looking to steal those away. Levi is spending so much time here, but it's an extremely difficult play.
We'll see. There's the flash forward, the flash response, as Levi does look for the flash flag and drag after Elio did hit that tangle bars, but because it's not through a minion, does not last as long.
Exactly.
And so it gives On the time to just flash right out, and now that is time wasted there. Beichuan's going to be down on the spot side, will catch Levi, and Levi now has no flag. You can see he did spend that spell. GAM's bot lane, again, going to try to help out in the jungle, but here comes BLG, and mid lane Prio is also going the way of BLG. Now they're looking to try to chase after Beichuan. We'll see if they can find and engage. Elio in a lot of trouble, does have to flash out. Artemis trying to get some damage down on the Beichuan, but it's Levi now who is in trouble. Levi flag and drag over the wall. Will he be able to survive? He gets trapped up, and he gets hit by the headshot, and another one, 2 to the head, knock Levi down. It's another kill for Elk, and it is BLG running away with the most one-sided game of the series.
Exquisite execution from Elk. Utilizing the trap over the wall, relying on the roots that comes from the Karma to guarantee that headshot. Connects the E as well to get another headshot. Just beautifully done. And this is just systematic destruction. GAM's response to the split map from BLG has been disastrous. And we see Elio, I mean, he's just so squishy. Level 3 gets chunked out immediately. And again, you'll see here, the root still goes through, the trap drops, gets the headshot, connects the E, second headshot. Beautifully done.
I mean, what more can you ask? It's just perfectly played right there, just nailing it. Now Bin level 6 looking for the kill on a Kiaya. Kiaya incredibly low. Bin trying to work his way out of this cage. Kiaya going back forward. Should have mana for a Q, but Bin is about to have his Q. He's going to flash forward. The Q heal does come through. The ulti from Kiaya trying to finish him off. The Maiden, though, doesn't quite have the damage, and now Bin's cooldowns are coming back up. He's going to flash in, slice, dice, stun, and he knocks him down with the Ruthless Predator. That's what Bin is, and he is king of the top lane in this series.
A slight overstep from Kiaya is quickly punished. And what was a disastrous bot side of the map is now extending to the top side. Bin finds himself with a 650 gold lead, and things are falling apart everywhere as BLG find themselves with a 3K gold lead only 7 minutes in.
Eris is just like, hey guys, I'm up 4 CS. How's it going?
Well, the gold difference is a nice summary for Azael. It is not looking good.
Woo. It's tough.
Now the swap will come through from BLG. The grubs are spawning in about 40 seconds, and BLG do not want to ease up on the pressure. They will not go easy on GAM. GAM has put up a decent fight in the first 2 games, but here in Game 3, BLG have shown zero remorse. The Caitlyn 3-0-1, a 1.3K gold lead already.
I mean, you just look at the itemization, and it is so sad when you're in these kind of situations where it's just like, what can you do? You can't compete. Like, there's no winning situation from that spot. And this is the BLG jungler timeline. A lot of questions about Beichuan, coming into MSI. Of course, he's going to have to answer more than just a win against GAM, but he has been good, very, very good, I would say, in this series. As Kiaya having no fun whatsoever. Another trap lands as the CC just feels endless. Going to get chunked down incredibly low, and we can see Beichuan up on that top side. He has filled, to me, more of like the Shun role than the Wei role. He has been kind of more that facilitative jungler, playing for the lanes, and has been quite good at it. Helped the team to get here, and Artemis now in trouble. Gonna have to flash out as almost gets knocked down there by Knight. They try to move the MF mid lane, try to find somewhere where he could safely farm. Nothing doing.
Yeah, I feel like the Beichuan has fit into the mold that BLG needs, and this game is a great example of that. He's played towards the lanes very well, and this is very reminiscent of the BLG that we saw last year, that very bot-centric BLG, really good at setting up their bot lane for success. When you give them that gold lead, they utilize it incredibly well. You just leave Knight to play his lane and he will find advantages, and GAM is just on damage control. Their lane assignments are kind of all over the place as they try and match BLG where they can, but BLG are even punishing that. Finding the flash in the mid lane onto Artemis, the fact that top lane continues to be bullied, it only goes from worse to worse.
Yeah, it is very, very tough now for GAM, and if Kiaya falls too far behind, Yorick doesn't really have a fallback plan, right? Like, whether you're winning, whether you're losing, you're kind of running down a side lane. Like, that's kind of what the champion does, how it functions. Eris in the side lane now might get some bad news. Has been posturing very aggressively. Someone behind him, yes, of course. Knight is there. The BLG soul laners looking to group up, and Eris knows he is dead, so he's just going to knock down the wave, accept his fate. Knight is on the board in game 3.
A nice little window that Knight was able to find to roam towards the bot side of the map and pick up a quick kill. 6-0 now the scoreline in favor of BLG as they continue to grow the gold lead. TP back into mid. The timing is just perfect. It's like the pieces are just fitting into the puzzle one by one. And BLG are not struggling to find those pieces whatsoever. We expect the bot lane to swap back towards their respective lane as the dragon spawns in 55 seconds. And I mean, like, it is just textbook League of Legends at this point when you have this kind of lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so difficult to really be able to deal with them when you don't have side lane prio, when your bot lane is so far behind. You know, you really are looking for some sort of a fallback plan, and it's got to be, you know, playmaking. It's got to be some sort of an outplay in the side lanes, but it's going to be really, really hard. We'll see if they can find a way in, and we know GAM really hasn't had much emphasis on the Dragons throughout the series. There's been BLG stacking them every single game. And when GAM was ahead in the last 2 games, they didn't even contest early Dragons. So I definitely do not expect them to try to contest from behind.
Yeah, GAM aren't the strongest when it comes to early game objective control. And I mean, the reality of their situation is that they are relying on BLG making some egregious mistakes, whether it be positioning in the team fights or overextending in side lanes. There's a possibility that with this kind of a lead that BLG get a little overconfident. They go for plays that they shouldn't really be going for, but with the goal lead that they have, they feel that they can make it. But as of right now, it's been flawless play, and BLG are not leaving any of these windows open.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to depend on mistakes from BLG, at this point, they're going to have to be some bigger mistakes. They're going to have to, like, sub Vedius in on Nocturne or something like that, you know?
I mean, their chances would only go up if they did that. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, well, we'll see how their chances are going to be here as they're going to let the bullet time rip, trying to clear out the wave, and he is just gone. It's a magic trick. Now you see him, now you don't. Elio going to get chased down as well. Is still barely alive. The last auto will finish him, as even on grabbing a kill there. That was a fast one.
Yes, it certainly was. That really is the wallet difference that you are seeing. The Sundered Sky being completed. I mean, at the very least, Artemis got the wave. I guess if you're looking for bright
stuff, we take those.
Because, I mean, right now, that's kind of all you can hope for, trying to find the small semblances of good news in what is a very difficult situation. Kiaya has the maiden back out. Level down against Bin. A 1.1k gold difference between the 2 top laners.
Yeah, we can see Eris TPing back towards mid lane as Elio was just cloned up, holding that wave for him. So going to be able to keep his farm going well. Yes, he did get picked off in the side lane well, but honestly his 1v1 was going completely fine there against Knight. But Knight now is going to be out on the map, and Elio just finds out the bad news. That is not your jungle, my friend. BLG has laid their claim on it. Going to take the Raptors, going to take the support, and going to continue farming away on these camps. And you know it, when you're playing jungle and you lose control over one side, it gets so difficult. Elk just shoving up this wave now. Beichuan is behind Artemis, and Artemis knows this is going to be tough. Levi is moving down here, but I don't know if he can actually get there in time to really do anything. There's 3 members, and it's going to be Bin fighting on the top side. We can see the dive going off on the bot side. The first kill is already there. Kiaya trying to run. Levi came in, but he couldn't do anything. Now he's going to get trapped up. Kiaya will be able to survive. Loses the maiden, though, in the process, and Eris is going to move down here. They're going to look to try to make a fight happen. It's a triple knockup for Levi. The Chaos Storm comes through. They do get 1 kill. In comes Elio. They're trying to get another, but they just don't have the damage to knock down Beichuan. He is healing up. He's getting shielded. shielded, and he's gonna re-engage with the Sundered Sky. Trying to go for more here. He will have to try to kite it out though. Eris looking here with the laser, does connect, gets the shutdown. GAM getting their first kills in this game.
At the very least, GAM get on the board. And I like the proactivity, but BLG's back on the map, and Knight secures himself another kill. That's 3 for him. 2-12 is the scoreline. And GAM, I admire that they have not given up. They still look for those plays. Levi finds a beautiful engage with Eris in a good position. But as you rightly identified, it's just a matter of gold. They don't quite have the damage. If the gold was a little bit closer, that play would have been massive. But the amount of healing that was coming out from Beichuan was just disgusting.
Yeah, it is very, very difficult. You know, when these kind of drain tanky bruisers get ahead, it is so hard to be able to actually knock them down. You know, you're losing on the bot side, you're trying to make a play happen there. And I think it was a pretty good play to look for, as Artemis, of course, will survive that ultimate, but does get pushed back, and this tower is not long for the world. You can see the top lane tier 1 low as well. The bot lane tier 1 has already been claimed, and that is a lot of plates going the way of BLG. 1,123 gold, and they're looking like they're 6,000 now ahead. They just crested.
14.5 minutes in. GAM, I still have confidence that they're going to be looking for plays where they can. The biggest issue that they have is their windows of opportunity to actually make these plays happen, because BLG will just, they're suffocating the vision. They're clearing out what little GAM is able to get. And while there are pockets of vision, as our observers are highlighting for us now, it only gets harder for them as the game continues, because BLG will quickly move deep into their territory. They will force them to have to ward their own side of the map just so they can gain access to the jungle, and that means it becomes that much harder to contest things like this Rift Tower.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, objective bounties have already spawned here 15 minutes in. That really does tell the tale. We'll see if they can find anything. But it's not looking like it, as the feats obviously have long since gone over there to BLG. They're going to be able to grab the Rift Herald as well, which could be problematic. Levi going in, as Elk is going to be able to 90 caliber net over the wall. There's the root coming through, and now Beichuan does arrive. That's an easy kill there onto Levi. Tried to look for an angle, but Elk doesn't really have to use much of anything.
The chain CC with this Karma Caitlyn is just brutal. The Jarvan barely getting an opportunity to move. Kiaya forced to retreat.
Yeah, Kiaya gonna run for it, drops the cage defensively, but will be knocked up and will be tethered. Nice little CC chain there, as On is gonna take up the tower for Beichuan. Beichuan trying to knock him down. Kiaya flashes to the side, tries to get the heal from the shovel, but it's not enough. Does fall, gets one back at the very least, but they lost the tower at the same time. And now Elio trying to make something happen here with the Pop Blossom. Will he be able to get the kill? Does get the 600 gold shutdown, and now Bin popping the ulti, forces the flash out there from Elio. Eris has arrived, but so has Knight. BLG want to keep the pressure on.
Now the good news for GAM is it's plays like this that help them get back into the game. The problem is that even though BLG is being hyper-aggressive, the gold lead has only gone up for BLG. So even though they get a big shutdown kill onto Beichuan, it really doesn't translate into much, as they lose the top tower, the bot tower falls, the mid tower falls, the dragon is spawning in 25 seconds, Beichuan is already back out onto the map, and Eris... Okay, Knight decided, you know what?
Knight has a mage eyes.
Drake... Knight always has a mage eyes.
Where'd he get that?
He's looking to stack that up quick. Right now, it's really been the Elk Beichuan On show. I mean, On is 1-1-11 right now. Oh dear. Eris, I think you might be in danger.
Yeah, Eris is in a lot of trouble. Elio there trying to peel, does miss on the Tangle Barbs, as Knight getting the damage down, goes between worlds, and is going to hit him with the 2-volt Hex. Elio, though, surviving for now. Levi does arrive. There's the smite coming through. Levi doesn't have his flash. It's almost up. We'll see if he wants to commit to it. Doesn't look like it, as he just can't close the gap to finish anyone off.
BLG's still fine with this play, though, because it leaves the dragon completely exposed. This will put them on soul point. And, I mean, BLG, I think this is their 11th dragon in a row? Like, it's just been soul 3 times back-to-back, right?
That's tough.
And BLG with just nothing but a masterclass in terms of objective control. They hold on to a 7k gold lead.
Yeah.
And GAM is just fishing for any opportunity where they can. They responded to the aggression on the top side well. They stopped BLG from getting another kill, but that's kind of the best of their options right now, just kind of stopping BLG from getting more. Unfortunately, BLG still finds a way to get something on the map.
Absolutely. I mean, Elk now individually up over 3,000 gold. His call is long since cashed out, and they're going to look for one of these side lane tier 2s. A big prize to take, as Beichuan will just ride this one in for the crash, and that tower is going to be gone for sure. Now it's 8,000 gold in the lead, and he's just going to ride into the next tower as well. Will he go towards mid lane? Sees a lot of GAM members. He's just going to drive for the tier 2 there. Gets that incredibly low, does get knocked back towards the GAM side, and there's some slows coming through from Artemis, but it's just not even going to matter as Levi's going in for Elk. Nice flash out there from Elk, does get him to safety from the flag and drag. Kiaya in the area, has the maiden back once again, and Eris arrives with the teleport. You can see Bin in the bot lane has TP'd in as well as Beichuan trying to look for something here. Beichuan is just going aggressive. Elk knocks down Artemis. Bin is chasing after Eris with Knight. Eris is in a world of hurt, and he gets knocked down as Knight goes on a rampage. Kiaya trying to get back into the base, but he's got nowhere to go. He's rooted up, and he's knocked down as well. It's Elio and Levi against the world. BLG not afraid of this whatsoever. They're chasing into the base. It is 19 minutes, and nowhere is safe on the map for GAM.
BLG dominate GAM as they just take control over everything. GAM is left wanting as Levi has to witness the destruction of his base. They will leave the inhibitor up. It is still very early into the game. Simply as a warning. That is a message being sent to GAM that BLG will allow their inhibitor to stay up. They will walk away with the red buff. But my goodness, Beichuan, yes, he is going in super deep, but he is surviving way longer than he has any right to.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to commit way too much, even if you can kill.
Yeah. I mean, we look back at this fight, and the engage onto Elk is a nice idea. You're forced to flash out from him, but it's at this point where, I mean, what do? The TP comes through from one side, Eris is TPing him from another. You're being collapsed on two sides, and then Beichuan says, I'll make the decision for you. I will engage onto your AD carry. He gets shut down by Elk. Beichuan says, no, I'm not going out, I'm going back in. Look at the healing that comes through from the Sundered Sky and the passive healing that he gets. And it just turns into pick after pick after pick. BLG just picking apart GAM.
Yeah, it is really, really tough. I mean, even if you find a good play at this point, no play looks like a good play when you're down 8,000 gold this early, and now it's nearly 11,000 gold as one combo. Two basic abilities there from Knight. Take more than half of Levi's health, and they are onto the Otacon right on spawn. We've seen this one before. GAM going to teleport down. They are going to look to try to make a stand at this objective, see if they can get some kills, see if they can get an objective bounty, but it is getting incredibly low. As Elio going to go in, finds a multi-man engage. Into the backline goes Levi. There's the ulti coming down. The bullet time does get the kill onto Elk. Artemis trying to get the damage rolling, but it's Knight now going forward, looking for Artemis. Gets the 2-volt hex and knocks him down. It's Bin, meanwhile, kills another one. We've seen this one before. Eris is going to run for the hills, as is Elio, but On is chasing him, trying to juke with the clone. It just doesn't even matter. BLG winning another fight.
It looked quite promising for GAM. I thought that there was actually an opportunity for them to go even in the fight, but unfortunately, again, it's simply a matter of finances. They don't quite have the resources. Knight is still so destructive in the backside as well, with 24 stacks on the Medjais. We look back at this play, and it's BLG just starting off the Otacon. They are not afraid of anything. A nice engage comes through from Elio, and they shut down the Elk almost immediately. And that's why you think, oh, this actually looks quite promising. Beichuan then takes a lot of damage himself. But the AoE ultimate that comes through from Knight is huge. Bin on the front line soaks up a huge amount of damage. And then in combination with Knight and Bin, along with the support from On, it's just a very one-sided fight in favor of BLG.
Yeah, he's looking happy now. He can sense that they are getting incredibly close to closing this series out, to sweeping GAM down to the lower bracket. Of course, in the play-in stage here, it is 2 wins and you move on, 2 losses and you are out. So neither team would move on or be eliminated from this one. But of course, BLG with an incredible start.
And that's important to note, just because that it's not all doom and gloom for GAM. They will have an opportunity to play up against Furia, which I'm expecting to be a very interesting matchup, especially with what Furia showed us today, and GAM showing us some great moments in this series against BLG. Right now, though,
oh my God.
Okay, there's stack number 25 for Knight.
That wasn't a range minion, I swear. There was someone playing that character.
Yes, that was. I mean, it was on the support, but my goodness.
Knight showing what you can do when you get ahead. He's going between the worlds, looking for Artemis. The barrier almost gets one shot through it, but Knight is in trouble, and Knight is going to lose some stacks here. Some pages getting torn out of the book. But I don't think Kiaya can get anything more. Knight feeling himself, wanted to just one-shot him under the tower in front of his team. Couldn't make it happen.
That was way too cocky for Knight. I mean, oh my goodness. And I think The downside for him is we're going to get a MasterCard priceless moment of the game. We're going to see the one shot again, and we're also going to see his overextension. Good news for GAM is, hey, they'll get a bit of gold back, but it's still an 11K gold difference between the two teams.
Yeah, it's going to be a mountain to climb for them. And it is now Soul added in there, as it is an Infernal Soul, so maybe that's what he needed. You just blame the jungler for not getting the Soul earlier.
You're quite right.
Otherwise, he would have been able to get this kill. So we can watch this one more time. That is, of course, Elio, not Eris. But that is 2 basic abilities and a dead Neeko.
Yeah, that was Thor cosplay. That was a lot of lightning coming down from the skies. Beichuan to clear out some vision. Baron is not alive yet. So BLG are just going to have to chill until that objective spawns. But you can imagine that they will just kick that one off immediately.
It's grim as Baron spawning into a game like this. You don't have a very long lifespan.
It's quite true.
Baron excited to witness the rift. Beautiful spirit blossom. And it will not be long for this world.
No, and Kiaya might not be as well, as he loses almost all of his health there. As the ace in the hole going to get blocked by Eris and Elio, excuse me, as he is always cosplaying there.
Beichuan,
yeah,
you need to chill out. Baron is still 35 seconds away. If BLG make a mistake here, I mean...
They might only be 10K down if they make a mistake here.
That's quite right. I mean, the worst case scenario for BLG is 2 members die, GAM have 5 members, and then they can contest the Baron. But even in 3 versus 5, I feel like BLG could still win.
Yeah, so it's definitely scary. Oh, and look at Knight. He's sitting on that blast cone. If he finds an angle, we know he wants to go for it.
I mean, he's got to fill the pages of the book back up.
Mm-hmm. He's got stories to tell, that one's for sure, as Levi going to get knocked out of his flag and drag, already down nearly 3 levels, as there is going to be an engage here coming through. Kiaya trying to find some sort of an angle, but there's no angle to be had. He's just going to be going back to the fountain. Knight, though, does get CC'd up, gets hit by the Tangle Barb, but they can't finish him off just yet. Eris, though, does finally get the kill. Beichuan on the other side with Bin and Elk. They're in the base. They're killing everybody. Eris is going to have to try to flash out of there and run. He's the last surviving member trying to battle here against On, but On is too strong. Mantra Tether healing up, setting him up for Bin to knock him down. BLG marching on the Nexus. GAM made him work for it in the first couple games, but they made no doubt about it in this third one. BLG came out with a vengeance. 25 minutes in, 15K gold up. BLG will sweep the series.
A convincing game to round the series out. BLG looking dominant in this best of 5. They will be going up against G2 tomorrow. But my word, of course, while there still may be some question marks, I mean, I feel like...
It's also some exclamation points.
There are definitely some exclamation points. BLG looked fantastic in today's series.
It's going to be a scary prospect for G2. Of course, they're going to be the ones awaiting the winner of this. So it is going to be G2 versus BLG in that winner's bracket. Winner will advance to the main stage. And of course, in the loser's bracket, it will be GAM versus Furia. You touched on that earlier. I think pre-tournament expectations were that GAM would be favored there.
Yeah.
But with Furia really showing up and playing so damn well, nearly taking down G2 in a series that went all 5 games, I think you really have to reevaluate how you're looking at this team and how close the series could be.
I completely agree. I'm really excited to see that best of 5 play out tomorrow. Of course, the loser of that series will be eliminated. The winner will have an opportunity to play against the loser of G2 versus BLG for that final main stage spot.
Maybe we get a Furia G2 rematch. Who knows?
We could very well get that. The answers will be given to us tomorrow, and you can see a look at the bracket for the playing stage on your screen right now.
Yeah, of
So
course.
as we were saying, G2 versus BLG will be the second best of 5 tomorrow, with Furia and GAM kicking off the day. The winner of Furia GAM will go up against the loser of G2 BLG, whereas the winner of G2 BLG will join the other teams in the MSI main stage. So a lot of awesome League of Legends still to be had. I mean, MSI, it's just many days in a